The story of Indiana Jones and the Great Circle follows that of so many great indie movies, full to bursting with iconic religious artifacts, gargantuan set-piece moments, and dastardly Nazis in need of a good punch. The Great Circle uses its video game format to globetrot around iconic destinations, from the Catholic archives in the Vatican to the pyramids of Egypt, all the way to the very tip of Mount Everest. It's an adventure that will take you anywhere and everywhere. So today on Game Rant, let's break down the whole story of Indiana Jones and the Great Circle in 5 minutes or less. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle opens up with the iconic Golden Idol scene, putting you in the shoes of Indy as he goes through this famous moment. This interaction does a lot of heavy lifting for the game, serving as a tutorial showing you where in Indy's timeline you are and bringing you all the nostalgic feels for the classic Indiana Jones movies. This scene shows us that the Great Circle is set after the Lost Ark, which takes place in 1936, and before the Last Crusade, which takes place in 1938. After completing this mission, Indiana will head back to Marshall College, where he will soon witness a break-in as a giant man brandishing an odd circular necklace steals one of the artifacts from the college's collections, knocking Indy out cold in the process. The giant's medallion, however, gets left behind in the chaos, and this artifact leads Indy to the Vatican. In the Vatican, Indy discovers that Nazis are up to something, as they've taken the whole city hostage. Indy's friend Father Antonio Morelle makes exploring the Vatican easier as he gives us access to a ton of areas that would have otherwise been blocked off. Detailed research throughout the Vatican leads us underground to the archives, with the help of the medallion we got off of the giant. Here we find our cat mummy statue, but we also find the giant Locust. It's in the Vatican that we learn that Locust is part of a biblical race of giants known as the Nephilim, who are sworn to protect these ancient Catholic secrets. We then knock him out. At this exact same time, the antagonist Heinrich Voss walks in and smashes our artifact, revealing a hidden stone. This stone is part of a full set that is linked to a Great Circle. The game's name refers to a giant ring around the Earth known as the Great Circle, in which artifacts containing these secret stones hide. In an attempt to find out more, Indy chases Heinrich onto his blimp with the help of the quote-unquote nun, Gina, and Locust the Giant, who has allied with us in order to stop the nefarious deeds of Voss. Now, Voss's blimp takes us to the pyramids of Gizeh, where Indy will do a lot of heavy work that Voss isn't smart enough to do. Indy, with the help of his new friend Gina, will explore the pyramids and find the idol of Ra, which contains another stone. Upon Indy's escape from the crumbling temple, he is buried in sand, and Voss takes the stone from us yet again. Eventually, we will then go to the top of Mount Everest, where a Nazi battleship utilizing one of these stones teleported, as the stones are able to transport people and objects to the opposite side of the globe. While exploring the ship on Mount Everest, we find out that Gina's sister was forced to work with the Nazis, as she was a famous archaeologist and journalist. When the ship got transported, everyone on it, including her sister, froze to death. After we find the stone aboard the ship, we have another interaction with Voss, in which we are forced to use the stone, teleporting ourselves back to where the ship was initially in Shanghai, China. It's a war zone there, so Gina and Indy get on a plane and travel to Sukhothai, Thailand, where Indy thinks another stone could be located. Same deal here as before, except Indy escapes with the stones and Voss escapes with Gina. Indy and Locust the Giant head to Iraq to try to free Gina from Voss's capture and to get the stones out of his hands. We attack the Nazi camp with the help of the Nephilim, eventually sneaking in and freeing Gina before discovering Noah's Ark. Yeah, like the one from the Bible. That one. On the Ark, Voss attempts to place all of the stones in order to use Noah's Ark as some sort of giant, flying, powerful Nazi ship, which is about the most Indiana Jones thing possible. In order to stop him, Indiana punches him in the face, and with the help of Locust and Gina, Voss is struck down by God as he is unfit to use this power. Locust, so that no one may ever wield such a power again, takes the ship away, presumably to heaven, sacrificing himself in the process. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle recaptures all of that beautiful Indiana Jones nostalgia by diving deep into biblical lore, globetrotting around the world, having bombastic set-piece moments, and putting us in the shoes of Indy. This game creates one of the most memorable experiences ever crafted. So that was the story of Indiana Jones and the Great Circle in 5 minutes or less. Thanks for watching.